Okay, I'm looking at the wrong color. Red team has 3 wards on the map. Now 4, but like they all have upgraded trinkets, so there should be a lot more than that.
I think that their vision just kind of expired recently.
Okay.
So like they haven't updated, but before they had very good ward coverage.
It was confusing to me which team was red because on the right side, Yasuo and Ashe are both blue. Okay.
What?
Nothing.
Alright.
I have a question for you.
With how far they're pushing up on top side, they really need a lot. They really need a lot more wards. Right now they have 1 in River, and like anyone can come up like this, and they should both die here. At least might get away. Probably not.
Let's crank. I would not suggest getting Swifties on Let's crank because like Mobies are better if you're going for movement speed, and then like if you're not going for the like super great movement speed, then just getting a like Merc Treads or Ninja Tabby are a lot better. Like yeah, Ashe, it's good against Ashe's slow, but that's not worth it now that you don't get the tenacity against Elise Stun and Ashe Arrow and all that shit.
Like it's really important to be cognizant of your vision control when you're trying to push inner turrets. Like really you should be warding up their jungle and trying to set up a pick on them because you don't have great siege, and that requires you guys to be like using sweepers and pink wards. And like they have a pink and bot side jungle, and when they were pushing on top side, their bot lane wasn't even in lane, so they're not really generating any pressure by being up there, they're just dying for free.
And then for both Jinx and Ashe, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to get blue trinket whenever your support gets gets sightstone, because like you don't really need those wards anymore for bot lane because they're going to be together down there, and blue trinket is very useful, especially against a team that has to make picks to win the game.
Like right now, red team should either push down bot lane, like so the bot lane should be like the #1 place that they want to push down, but since they know that they can't siege very well, the entire bot side of blue team's jungle, or red team should ward the entire bot side of blue team's jungle, so that they can either get a Thresh hook or an Elise cocoon, because if you have Elise, Thresh, and Yasuo together, like not even including Ashe, you can pretty much, if you hook, play, or like Steel Tempest anyone, you'll kill them. Elise is really fed right now. Yeah.
What?
Renekton's doing a really good job at knowing when he can't fight. Yeah, X's fights fairly well. My team's getting Dragon, which is good. Because the only way that Warwick is getting in there unless he like holds someone that stands too close to the wall, so good on them for not standing too close, or flashes over it.
Renekton build-wise, I'm just not a huge fan of getting last push for a second. Like, yeah, I mean, Rumble built Zanya, sure, but like Black Cleaver is just a way better item, especially on Renekton.
You should really go Cleaver. Oh, rest in peace, Jinx. That's what I was talking about, like the whole hook thing. Like, Jinx just gets deleted.
Red team, you should just kill this turret before you try to fight. There you go.
And then they should kill Ari here too.
Ari, I'm not. Did you like run out of? No, you should have charges on your ults. You should have just like ran away instead of dying and giving them more gold. And honestly, they can probably get the like inhib turret out of this if they keep pushing. Rumble's not rotating. He doesn't have.
What is your client? What time is your client on?
25:46.
Okay, you're slightly behind me. Yeah, like that's what red team needed. I mean, on blue team side, what they really should have done is been more cognizant of the fact that they have like 3 forms of initiation, and if Yasuo ults on any of them, they'll probably kill the person, and stayed closer under their turret, because it's not like they don't have wave clear. They have Ari Jinx, like, there wasn't really any reason for any of them to get caught like that. Also staying when you're too low, that's another really big problem.
Oh man, that Jinx ult. I like went back and looked at it because I was confused as to how he could have possibly missed the ult when he was standing on a ward, but he didn't actually ult until after. Like, he ulted before Yasuo actually came in vision. So we all saw the ult missing.
Does Warwick... Actually, I guess they're both equally behind. I'm gonna say Warwick's really generous giving Ahri blue even though she's behind, but... Because, I mean, Ahri isn't super mana hungry, especially if she has Merlin Omicron. I mean, the CDR is good, but if your jungler's doing more work on the map, then give it to the jungler. But I just realized that...
I don't know, but they're gonna have to be, like, going against sieging, and, like, Jinx also has really good wave player, but Ahri's gonna be doing, like, most of the work. So I would give the blue over.
That's a big Renekton.
I mean, it's a gigantic Renekton.
I mean, the CS... I mean, the kill difference isn't that big in top lane, but the CS differential is massive. We're talking
honestly,
like 2,000 gold.
Like, the only lane that is not behind in CS significantly is bot lane. It's actually ahead in CS.
I kind of feel bad in hindsight because Blitzcrank does not want to be there. That is not a place that... There is no help where they're going.
I'm not sure. You shouldn't try to fight that. And like Jinx might come and try to fight too, but I like the ward that Red Side placed in the Wolf Pit. Like, not a lot of people ward that, but it's a very good ward. Especially since like a lot of people do what Ahri just tried to do, which is like camp there for somebody to come by.
Yeah, if you're playing a champion like Ahri, you should really invest in a sweeper. Like, especially if you're looking to get picks on people.
But yeah, blue side should really send someone to stop that. Like, they didn't even save the top turret, but saving top outer would not be worth losing bottom inner.
Inhibitor to it, yeah. Oh, and what Jinx did at the inner turret in top lane, like, that is a mistake that people make. Not only, like, in silver, so, like, don't think it's, like, that bad, but, I mean, in platinum, diamond, people still have to end up overstaying in areas that, like, they can get dove at. So, like, Renekton, with Dominus, he can tank a lot of turret shots, whether or not he has, like, armor or not. And then, on top of that, Homeboy is level 16. You're level 13 as Jinx, and you really don't want to be anywhere near where he is. Especially when he has that much damage. Now he has... This kid has maximum penetration. Oh my goodness. So, like, blue team hasn't even begun stacking armor, really. Like, we got a Warden's Bell on Blitzcrank, we got Zhonya's on Rumble, we almost have Zhonya's on Ahri, but we already have Black Cleaver, which is going to give Yasuo 30% penetration whenever Renekton's going ham. And Renekton also has Last Whisper already.
And then, I don't know what's up with you guys getting Swifties, but they are very rarely the best boot choice. Like, Renekton, I would have gone... I mean, honestly, Ninja Tabi would be good if you're worried about the Jinx damage, but like, or if you're, like, basically, if you're gonna build a, if the first defense item that you're gonna build is MR, then you want to get Ninja Tabi. If it's not, then you want to get Merc Treads, unless like they have no CC, but their team has like Charm, which is the main thing that it would be for.
That's why Khalil went down to plat for research, not because he tilted. You know, you're exactly correct, Hypersloth. I respect the hell out of that. That's good analysis, quality analysis.
That was very bad for both sides because they all went, but they were too late. So Renekton got Inhibitor and they got Baron. So
I mean, this game is kind of my bad because I guess I didn't really. Okay, I didn't expect top lane to win, because I'm pretty sure, like, Rumble's almost an entire league above him. Like, I don't know how that matchup actually goes when it's played out.
The matchup is pretty shitty for Rumble.
Okay, that makes sense then. And then
but also, you can just, with Rumble, you can just like back off and not really fight him. So it's like you're not gonna be able to fight him until like actually you're pretty much never gonna be able to fight him. But Yasuo, I don't think I would have done that, but it worked out because they were so far ahead. But in general, that was not the best decision.
I mean, one good thing you can do with Yasuo, like if that were early, is that you can use the third charge of Steel Tempest to zone him off from his like taking his Q. But I wouldn't actually take it over the wall if you can't see anything over there. That's a little ballsy.
Alright, what you're gonna want to do here is instead of doing, well, I guess that worked. Never mind. It shouldn't have worked, but it did.
They're just proving us wrong. We don't know what we're talking about, Randy. Oh, that's what I was saying. I feel kind of bad with respect to this game because there's like an elo discrepancy between the mid lane and the jungler. Like the jungler's unranked, but I just kind of figured he'd be around like silver 5-ish. Is that what their jungler is? That's what Elise is. Elise is silver 2, my bad. Yasuo is silver 5, so that's why I didn't think the mid lane matchup would be that bad. But obviously I haven't played at that elo enough in a long time. Because I didn't think that it would be this big of... I mean, and mid and jungle are like... early game, the most important roles in the game by far. So like, your top laner's on an island, he can make plays bot lane, but most of what he does is going to be on him. Mid lane has the easiest access to every lane in the game, and the jungler, obviously, like his job is to access every lane in the game. So if you have a really strong mid and jungle, 9 times out of 10 you're going to beat the other team, unless one of your lanes like just goes to sleep. That can exert the most pressure early game, and that is actually how you set it. Like, sure, you need bot lane to be like in a decent position to do dragons, but if the enemy team's mid laner and jungler are out pressuring you, it doesn't matter if your bot lane is losing because your AD carry still has to like farm for 10 more minutes before he becomes relevant. So I mean, part of it has to do with the champions pick because Elise is gonna shit on Warwick, Yasuo is gonna shit on Ahri. Like, that's how the matchups go. But there also happens to be a bit of an elo discrepancy. I don't think it's huge personally, but yeah.
Honestly, I think by far the turning point of this game was the Renekton TP to bot lane.
Yeah.
Like, that heavily swung the favor of the game into red sides.
Like, even though their bot lane ended up losing, Renekton got so far ahead of Rumble that he just started running around diving people. And like, as a top laner, that's the best thing you can do to support your team, is to understand that, oh, I don't have to stand in this lane all day. There's a whole new world out there, and to just go and explore it, and that's what Renekton did, and look, he's fucking wealthy. That's how you should approach it. Should Elise have gone Rylai's as a second or third item? I'm pretty sure that there are some junglers, like primarily in EU, that do a lot of, like, they'll do that build. Like, I'm pretty sure Dexter does it. I'm not certain, but Rylai's isn't a bad second item either. I mean, I think the reason why I think Elise went Frozen Heart second. I think the reason she did that was because of how much armor. Actually, I don't know why she did that. I wouldn't have done that. I probably would have went Rylai's. Like, if it were the other way around, if Elise were on blue team, I think Frozen Heart would not have been a bad idea. But with Elise, like, you generally want to build a lot of AP on her now because her base damage is so high and her ratios are pretty decent. And that coupled with her execute makes her really good at just perpetually keeping the other team down, especially when you do a lot of burst damage. Frozen Heart is really only affecting Jinx, and Elise wasn't even bought very often, so... Like, actually, no one else on the... I guess Warwick does, because of one of his, like, passes or whatever. But I don't think it's really worth it, considering most of Warwick's damage ends up being magic anyway. I think. Devour. Yeah. And Warwick still hasn't sated at 34 minutes, so this has been a rough game. But it's like I said, it's understandable. Like, those... Yasuo snowballs really hard, Elise snowballs really hard. Warwick and Ahri... Well, Ahri can snowball pretty hard, but she didn't, and that's a bad matchup for her. Oh, I also did not notice that Elise went Cinderhulk. I assumed she went Runeglaive. I'm more in favor of, like, AP-oriented builds on Elise. I think it goes a much longer way. I mean, it worked out, but I would definitely recommend more AP-oriented builds. Because, I mean, like, Score goes Runeglaive into Rylai's into Zhonya's. That's a good example. If Elise went for CDs, that should have been better. What would you suggest? For CDR, I don't think Elise really needs the CDR, honestly. She's really good at executing people, and I don't think she really has to spam her abilities. So it's more important to get, like, the AP for the damage, and also, like, a decent amount of tankiness to where you're just not getting blown up. And Rylai's is really good with that.